When playing Sova in solo or duo queue below immortal, a lot of players will make the mistake of thinking that they have to be the selfless initiator who enables the team, when in reality, what you actually need is what you need on any agent in ranked, and that is to be proactive and selfish. Make sure that in most situations, you are the one capitalizing from your own utility. You don't want to rely on inconsistent factors, such as your random ranked teammates, to do it, because a lot of the time, your teammates in ranked will have no idea how to play with a Sova who actually scans enemies. Very often, your teammates will not shoot a scanned enemy through a smoke or through a wall, because they won't have the experience that you have, and they won't have the experience of playing with a Sova who has lineups, or a Cypher with trip setups, or similar. And so your goal in ranked should be to stay in control of as many situations as possible. This is the most consistent way to play ranked. And it means staying in the round, prioritizing your own life and your own utility, without letting your teammates bait you. Because when players in ranked don't understand the refrag game in the slightest, your death will often be meaningless. And so you do want to stay alive as much as possible, being the one who trades your teammates as opposed to being the one who might get traded, you know? And as a Sova, it is your job to be the refragger, and through doing so, you will maximize the amount of your learning opportunities that you can obtain, as opposed to twiddling your thumbs and spectating your monkey teammates who seem to have no idea how to hold the mouse in the first place. I think some of my teammates hold their mouse upside down because they don't even aim, and I'm not quite sure why. But through maximizing learning opportunities, you will eventually become the most consistent factor in your games, and this is a fundamental thing that you need to acquire to overcome ranked. And I want to break down one scenario where you will be more proactive and more selfish in such a way that you will acquire a more consistent result each time. This scenario will be B retake of the new map CORRODE. Let's say we've rotated through our spawn. We can walk into this corner, and we can use an optimal retake recon lineup that I made for myself. We align the A in the word charge with this rectangle. One bounce, full charge.
Scanning ahead.
I classify this lineup as optimal for 4 different reasons. This lineup travels slowly enough that you can swing from elbow or from tower before the enemy gets scanned.
Revealing area.
As you can see, this is
Right here.
where you will be the moment the enemy gets scanned, at least if they are close.
Right here.
And this lineup scans almost all of sight, including all the close corners.
Right here. Right here. Right here.
With only 2 main exceptions,
Right here.
which is if an enemy is deep in here, or if an enemy is in this cubby. If no enemies get scanned, there are only 2 spots the enemy is most likely to be in, and this is an optimal scenario for shock dart lineups. The first shock dart lineup is here. You aim at the top of this wall, or if you are smoked off, you can use like the tip of your hood as a
Right
reference.
here.
Either one is fine.
Shock dart. Revealing area.
And because no enemies get scanned,
Right
it's a
here.
50-50 chance.
Right here.
Either a few enemies is here or here.
Right here.
Another shock dart lineup you can do is here. You aim above this roof
Shock dart.
and you tap and this
Right
will
here.
hit the right side of this boathouse thing. And you will most likely be dealing enormous damage just from 2 shock darts on average, if the enemies are playing on site. Now, to add to this, I think this is the 4th reason now that this is an optimal lineup. A lot of this cover is wall bangable with a heavy penetration and medium penetration weapon. This is wall bangable. If an enemy gets scanned
Right
here, you should be able to kill them 10 out of 10 times.
Right
This
here.
is wall bangable. So if an enemy gets scanned in the boathouse,
Right here.
you should be able to kill them. If there's an enemy in this corner, again, wall bangable. If there's an enemy here, not this. Yeah, so you're practically denying the enemy a lot of play areas this way.